They are the angels of death, the saviors of humanity. To the billions living in the suffocating darkness of the 41st millennium, the Adeptus Astartes, the Space Marines, are living myths. They are the golden-armored demigods who descend from the heavens to deliver salvation, embodying the very pinnacle of human potential, loyalty, and destructive power. For a young aspirant on a feral world, watching a Thunderhawk gunship rip the sky apart, the Space Marine is the only escape from a life of brutal mediocrity. It is the one singular path to relevance. It is an impossible dream. But in the Imperium of Man, what happens to the millions, perhaps billions, who chase this dream and fail? In the grim darkness of the far future, failure is not an option you walk away from. It is not a lesson. It is not a setback. When you are taken by the chapter, you leave your entire existence behind. If you are deemed unworthy of joining their ranks, you do not get to go home. You have seen too much. You have set foot inside the fortress monastery. You know their rituals, their weaknesses, their secrets. The Imperium, and specifically the Adeptus Astartes, cannot afford the liability of your existence. Failure is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of your doom. Your body, your mind, your very soul, they no longer belong to you. They belong to the chapter. And the chapter is notoriously thrifty. Nothing goes to waste, especially you.
First, you must understand the scale. We are not talking about a few dozen hopefuls from a noble bloodline. We are talking about a tithe of worlds. Entire planets, designated as recruitment grounds, must provide a constant stream of potential candidates. These are often the most brutal and unstrung places in the galaxy. Feral worlds where only the strongest survive, or death worlds where the ecosystem itself is designed to kill you. On worlds like Fenris, children are cast into the frozen wilderness. On Baal, they are sent into radioactive deserts. The chapters do this deliberately. They don't just want strong recruits. They want sociopathic, traumatized survivors. They want those who have already clawed their way to the top of a flesh heap. And from this hyper-violent pool, only a handful are even considered worthy to begin the trials. The blunt reality is that the entire process is designed to make you fail. It is a filter of almost unimaginable cruelty. The standard for becoming a Space Marine is not human. It is post-human. It is monstrous. You are expected to possess a genetic code so pure, a physical resilience so extreme, and a mental fortitude so absolute that 99.9% of the human race is disqualified before the first test even begins. The chapters know this. They do not see this as a waste. They see it as necessary. The creation of a Space Marine is a delicate, resource-intensive process. The gene seed, the sacred genetic material harvested from a Primarch, is their most priceless resource. They would rather see 1,000 potential recruits die in agony than risk a single drop of gene seed on a candidate who might be incompatible. Failure is not just likely, it is the statistical expectation. The trials are where the culling begins in earnest. These are not tests of skill, they are gauntlets of survival designed to shatter you. Imagine the trials of the Blood Angels, where you must fight mutated horrors in lightless tunnels for days on end. Or the trials of the Space Wolves, where you must hunt and kill a Fenrisian wolf with nothing but your bare hands. These tests push your body past every conceivable limit. Bones are broken, organs are ruptured, and aspirants die by the score. But this is the point. The chapter's apothecaries and chaplains are watching. They are not looking for the fastest or the strongest. They are looking for the one who gets up after their insides have been turned to paste. They are looking for the one whose body refuses to die, even when it should. If the body survives, the mind must be broken. This is not education, it is indoctrination. You are subjected to intense psycho-conditioning, hypnotherapy, and relentless mental violation. Your past life? It is erased. Your family? They never existed. Your fears, your hopes, your individuality, all are scoured away and replaced with one singular concept: loyalty to the Emperor and the chapter. Many minds simply snap. They shatter under the strain, collapsing into madness or catatonia. A Space Marine must be a weapon, but a weapon must be stable. If you cannot withstand the mental rewriting, if you show the slightest hint of psychic instability or lingering individuality, you are a failed component. You are flawed, and flawed components are not repaired. They are repurposed. This is the great unspoken secret. This is the barrier no amount of willpower or strength can overcome. You can survive the trials. You can endure the indoctrination. You can be the perfect aspirant in every way. But if your body rejects the gene seed, it is all for nothing. The gene seed is the collection of 19 specialized organs, grown from the chapter's own genetic stock, that are implanted into your body to make you a Space Marine. This is the true test: compatibility. Your immune system, your genetic code must accept these alien organs. If it does not, the results are horrific. The organs fail, your body turns on itself, and you mutate into a shrieking mass of cancerous flesh. You have not just failed the chapter, your very biology has failed the Emperor. This is the great sin, and it has the ultimate punishment. Imagine the moment. You have survived everything. You are in the apothecarium, feeling the cold steel of the surgical tools. The first implant, the second, and then the pain begins. It is a wrongness. It is your own blood boiling. The gene seed is being rejected. The apothecary, his face a cold mask, watches the readouts. He does not offer comfort. He simply makes a notation. You have become a biological contaminant. Your body is a vessel of failure, a mass of mutations. You are no longer a person. You are a biological catastrophe, a failed experiment. In that moment, the dream dies, and you see the true face of the chapter. It is not a face of compassion. It is the face of a butcher, assessing a piece of meat that has gone rotten. Perhaps your body accepts the implants, but your mind, scoured and rebuilt, cracks. The psycho-conditioning reveals a flaw. Maybe you harbor a latent psychic spark unseen until now. Maybe the new personality implantation fails, and you are left a drooling, broken wreck. Or worse, maybe you remain too much of yourself. You question an order. You hesitate. To the chapter chaplain, this is a spiritual corruption. It is a weakness that, if allowed to fester, could threaten the entire chapter. A Space Marine who thinks for himself is a Space Marine one step away from heresy. Your mental failure is not seen as a tragedy. It is seen as a contamination that must be purged. You are now a danger to be neutralized. And this is the crux of it all. You cannot be let go. You have seen the chapter's sanctums. You know the names of their heroes, the rituals of their apothecaries. You know how many failed alongside you. You are a walking, breathing security breach. Your knowledge makes you a priceless commodity to the enemies of the Imperium, to chaos, to the Xenos. The moment you were chosen, your life was forfeit. The only question was whether you would die a glorious death as an Astartes or be recycled. The chapter has invested time and resources in you. Even in failure, you must pay back that debt. Your doom is sealed. Now, we only must determine its shape. The path of the aspirant is a blade's edge, and the fall is a 1,000-mile drop. The vast majority of those who fail are destined for a fate that makes a simple death seem like a merciful blessing. A fate that perfectly encapsulates the Imperium's cold, brutal pragmatism. If you are finding this decoding of the Imperium's darkest corners valuable, consider subscribing. We are dedicated to exploring the grim, dark realities that others merely skim. This is Silent Imperium. Now, let us witness the primary and most horrifying fate of the failed.
This is the most common, most efficient, and most terrifying fate. You become a servitor. Your failure, whether physical or mental, has deemed your higher functions irrelevant. The tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus, who often oversee the final stages of implantation, see your failed body as prime, raw material. The process is a meticulous destruction of self. Your limbs are amputated, replaced with tools, weapons, or simple locomotive pistons. Your brain is surgically altered. The parts that made you, your memories, your personality, your consciousness, are carved out, cauterized, and deleted. A cogitator and machine spirit are hardwired into your brainstem. You are, in effect, a programmable corpse. This is the philosophical horror. The Imperium's ultimate punishment for weakness is to turn you into a literal object. You wanted to be a weapon? Now you are a gun servitor, your mind nothing but a targeting reticle. You wanted to serve? Now you are a menial servitor, your arms replaced with cleaning implements, scrubbing the same hallway for 50 years, unaware of your own name. This is the fate of those who failed the genetic test. Your body, the very thing that betrayed you, is now the only part of you the Imperium values. It is a walking mockery of your ambition. You exist in the heart of the chapter you longed to join, a mindless automaton polishing the boots of the very men who were once your rivals, your brothers in the trials. And what of the consciousness? The dogma of the Mechanicus states the mind is erased, but the lore is filled with whispers, whispers of the ghost in the machine. A momentary glitch, a single lucid second of pure, undiluted terror as your true self briefly surfaces, realizing it is trapped inside a rotting mechanized prison, unable to scream, unable to die. This is the doom of the failed aspirant. You are sentenced to an eternity of service, trapped in a flesh-metal tomb, your soul silenced. You are the perfect imperial citizen, all duty, no thought. You are the living, shuffling, groaning proof that in the 41st millennium, there is no fate worse than being useful. But what if you fail gently? What if you are physically capable, mentally stable, but simply lack the genetic click for the final implants? What if you are simply not good enough, but not a total write-off? You are not mutated, you are not insane. To turn you into a servitor would be wasteful.
These are the lucky ones. You are granted the honor of becoming a chapter serf. You are still bound to the chapter for life, but you retain your mind. You will work in the armories, the scriptoriums, or the kitchens. You will live within the fortress monastery, serving the demigods you could not become. This is not mercy. This is the alternative hell. This is a damnation of the psyche. The servitor knows nothing. You know everything. You know what you lost. Every single day, you must wake up and polish the power armor of the man who did pass the test, the man who might have been your bunkmate, the man you might have been better than until the genetic lottery failed you. You live your entire natural life, a long, bitter 80 or 90 years, in the shadow of the transhuman. You watch them, immortal and perfect, as you grow old, frail, and full of resentment. This is the hell of almost. You are a living reminder of the imperfection of baseline humanity, a court eunuch in the palace of kings. Every breath you take is an exercise in psychological self-flagellation. Which is worse, the servitor's oblivion or this conscious, eternal torment of proximity? There is a third path, reserved for those who fail with attitude. You are strong, you are resilient, but you are insubordinate. You are an individual. You fight the indoctrination. You are, in the eyes of the chapter, a valuable weapon that refuses to aim in the right direction. You are too dangerous for a serf, too willful for a servitor. So you are given a new name, Penal Legionnaire. Your mind is partially wiped, just enough to erase your knowledge of the chapter's secrets, and you are dumped into the Astra Militarum's most disposable regiment. You are now cannon fodder, an explosive collar strapped to your neck, sent to die on the most hellish war zones imaginable. This is not a career. It is an execution, just delayed.
And finally, what of those who fail gloriously? What of the aspirant who dies during the trials? The one who holds the pass against the monster for a precious few seconds, allowing his rivals to escape. The one who, knowing the implant is killing him, uses his last breath to praise the Emperor. These few are granted the Emperor's peace, a bolt round from the chapter chaplain's pistol, a quick, clean death. Their name is recorded in some dusty tome as fallen at the threshold. In the grim calculus of the 41st millennium, this is the grand prize. This is the good ending. The greatest mercy a failed aspirant can hope for is a swift, unremarkable execution. Let us decode what this truly means. The Imperium is so steeped in dogma, so obsessed with a biological and spiritual purity, that it takes the absolute best candidates humanity has to offer, the strongest, fastest, and most resilient, and subjects them to a process that kills or mutilates almost all of them. This system is not just cruel, it is catastrophically inefficient. Millions of potential elite soldiers who could form the backbone of the Imperial Guard are instead turned into shuffling, mindless servitors or sent to die in Penal Legions. This is the philosophy of the Imperium. It would rather have one pure Astartes than a million flawed but effective soldiers. It is a system that eats its own young, sacrificing its future
for a dogmatic, impossible past.
The life of the failed Space Marine is doomed from the moment they are chosen. The doom is not just death. It is the utter and total negation of self. It is the realization that your ambition, your dream, was a lie. You were never a candidate. You were raw material. You were cattle, brought in for inspection. Your doom is to become a servitor, your soul scraped out to make room for a program. Your doom is to become a serf, living a life of bitter envy, forever polishing the dream you can never touch. Your doom is to die on a forgotten battlefield, your name erased, fighting for an Imperium that branded you a failure. The common thread is not failure, it is consumption. The Imperium consumes you, one way or another. This is the horrifying truth. The gleaming image of the Space Marine, the angel of death, casts a shadow. And that shadow is built from the remains of millions of failed aspirants. For every hero in power armor, there are 1,000 servitors built from the bodies of those who weren't good enough. For every glorious statue, there is a mountain of forgotten, recycled dead. The demigod cannot exist without the sacrifice. The Astartes are not just symbols of hope, they are monuments built on a foundation of crushed dreams, broken bodies, and erased minds. They are the apex of a pyramid of failure, and their glory is only possible because of the doom of those beneath them. In the 41st millennium, there is no redemption for failure. The cost of reaching for the heavens is not just falling, it's being repurposed by the very machine you sought to join. The dream of becoming a Space Marine is, for 99.9% of those who try, a direct path to a fate far, far worse than a simple human death. So, which fate do you find the most horrifying? The oblivion of the servitor? The psychological torment of the serf? Or the hopeless death of the penal legionnaire? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you wish to continue decoding the dark truths of this universe, subscribe to Silent Imperium. The truth is in the shadows.